Hmm. What up, everybody? YouTube Live. Let me make an announcement here on YouTube or Twitter, I should say. All right. Oh man, right now it's Wednesday night. Nope, Thursday night, December 3rd. So in less than an hour from now, we're gonna be watching the new Mandalorian episode. So I'll be back doing another live review of that. But I want to talk about this real quick, man. Well, maybe not real quick, but before we get to Mandalorian later on, I just want to talk about Euphoria. I mean, guess who's back? When was the last time we saw this? I think it was last year's summer, right? Euphoria was the sensation of summer 2019. So it's been more than a year, man. And I was I'm one of the fans who were like, when are we gonna get season 2? When are we gonna get season 2? When are we gonna get season 2? Because the show got renewed. I think last year HBO renewed it for second season, and I was like, I thought by then they would have started at least shooting it, went into production. But I guess they didn't. So, and then COVID pandemic happened and kind of messed up everybody and every schedule. But Sam, the creator of the show, did manage to at least give us a two-parter special episode. And this is the first part. The second one, we don't know when it's gonna air. I'm thinking probably next year sometime. So this will have to do. This will have to do in the place of season 2. Who knows when that'll happen. So tonight, the episode was actually shot during pandemic. I don't know exactly when it was. Maybe a few months ago. And I remember Zendaya, of course, as you know, won Emmy for this role. She won Emmy for this character, Rue, for her performance on this show, and it was just so ecstatic, man. I was like jumping up and down when she won that Emmy. It was just like so well deserved. And she, as you could see from tonight's episode, she stepped back into those shoes like she never took them off in the first place. It was just like, bam, she's Rue again, and it was just so cool with her moodiness, with her emo, with her gloomy, with her like life is shit, approach to everything. I was like, oh, I'm gonna go back to doing drugs. Oh, that's the Rue we remember. That's the Rue that we all recall. But I think, because it's been more than a year, refresh my memory, okay? Help me out here. I think things didn't work out, right? At the end, I think by episode 8, things didn't work out between Rue and Jules. And so Rue kind of, how should I say it? Like, falls off the wagon again. And so that's where we are with this episode. She falls off the wagon and she starts using again. And the episode kind of begins with the happy days of Rue and Jules, and oh god, it just brought back good memories of watching the first season and why I love this show, especially the fact that Jules is my favorite character. Man, maybe Jules and a little bit of Lexi. I freaking love Lexi as well, and Kat, and Rue, and Cassie. You know what? I love them all. I don't have any favorites. But yeah, so cool seeing Jules and Rue just on that bed on tonight's episode, just pretty much all over each other. I was like, young love. We've all been there. And they don't last. Because it was shot during pandemic, it made sense that this hour special episode only took place in one location. It was dialogue driven. Not much else is going on except that. And it was just 1 hour of Coleman Domingo. I think his character's name is Ali. Pretty much that 1 hour he was just like telling truth to Rue. He was like telling truth to Rue's face. And to her credit, Rue actually pushed back a little bit. Or maybe not a little bit, several times. Rue is feisty like that. Rue doesn't like... Rue's not one of those people like, if you try to psychoanalyze Rue, Rue's not gonna just like sit there and take it, Rue's gonna get his claws out, and she's gonna have her defense mechanism out, and she'll have excuses out. I think some of the excuses that she brought up on today's episode was about her father passing or some sort of like that. But there are many instances in the dialogue between Rue and Ali where Rue pretty much is saying back to Ali, hey, you know what? You want to dance with me? Oh, okay, let's dance. See if you can, go toe to toe with me. So it's not just Ali kind of like preaching to Rue the whole time. No, it was more. It felt like watching a boxing match. So, Kai baby, show the episode. No, you can't show the episode here. It's on YouTube, man. It's on HBO. Euphoria is on HBO. Silly. So if you want to watch the episode, go watch on HBO. Not here. This is a review. So yeah, pretty much that's all. That's all the 1 hour episode. And the only thoughts I have left of that, because there's not much to digest other than that, is, and this is a confession, I am on the side of, or I'm on the perspective of, if you want to do drugs, you do you, boo. If that makes you happy, if that's your prerogative, if that's the road that you want to go down on, it's a free country. Nobody, so it's nobody's telling you like, or nobody's stopping you. You know what I'm saying? With that said, I think also that drugs should be not a matter of criminals. It should be a matter of rehab. So if somebody has problem with addiction, his or her ass should not be thrown in jail. Because obviously that person needs help. They're filling in whatever void, or like, we all have our addictions. I have addiction. Food. I love eating food. That's why I'm a little overweight right now. It's my pleasure. It's and sometimes it's my stress reliever when I'm stressing out or when I couldn't finish a job in time. I resort to my food. I run back to my food. That's my kind of go-to savior, if you will. And for some people, it's not food. For some people, it could be something else. So it could be like Rue, pills. We're trying to filling in something here. And as humans, we are very flawed. As much as we try to convince ourselves, with all our might, I'm awesome. I'm strong. Nothing can beat me. But at the end of the day, we're still human, and there's some stuff that we have to deal with, and the choice is whether to face it head on or run back to whatever addiction that we have, because it's so much more comforting to go back to that as opposed to facing whatever it is head on. And so Tyler Hawkins is asking, how long is the episode and is it out now? Because I heard it was coming out on the 6th, not today. It's out today, Tyler Hawkins. Thank you for the question. It's out today on HBO Max. It'll be out on HBO on the 6th. HBO is the original outlet of the show, but as I implied to you earlier on my video regarding WB's 2021 movies coming to HBO Max, compared to other streaming services, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, HBO Max is kind of far behind in the competition. So luckily now they have WB movies coming, on the same day of release, right? So as far as subscription numbers, they fall behind the competition. So I'm guessing this is a way, or one of the many ways, that they're trying to help HBO Max, because it's like, hey, let's release it early on HBO Max and see if people would sign up or subscribe. If that helps with the subscription numbers. So it's a marketing ploy, but I think it works. So Tyler, if you have subscription to HBO Max, you can watch the episode today. And again, this is the first part of the special episode that they shot during COVID pandemic. The second part that they also shot during pandemic is gonna air sometime in 2021. So that's the answer to your question. So back to my train of thought. Yeah. Obviously something is bothering Rude, obviously it's something to do with Jules or whatever void that, so everybody when somebody's doing drugs, there's a reason behind that. There's a reason behind that addiction, and the way to handle that is through rehab, not by locking them up in jail. So I'm the kind of guy who's like, hey, we gotta decriminalize drugs. We gotta handle it the way Ali handles Rue. By talking to them. But again, as I said earlier too, if somebody wants to do drugs for the fun of it, you do you, boo. You do you, boo. I mean, we only live once. Our life is really short on this planet, and all of us have our drugs. Don't be lying to me like, no, Rama, I don't got drug problem. No, we all have our drugs. Like I said, I have food. Food is my drug. Some people have binge watching addiction. Some people have shopping addiction. We all have our drugs. It may not be pills like Rue. So don't be like, I'm on a high horse, man. Rue's beneath me. Yes, Hi says they stream it today, but it fully comes out on the 6th. So it fully came out today too, on HBO Max. It's a full hour episode of the first part. It's only just, if you want to know, if you haven't seen it, it's basically just Rue and Coleman Domingo's character, Ali, in a restaurant, and Rue's Rue falls off the wagon, and Ali, of course, the whole hour he's just trying to convince Rue about sobriety, like getting clean again, and then Rue pushes back. Every time Ali comes up with an argument, Rue pushes back with a counter argument. So that's what I said. It felt like watching a boxing match. These two contenders in the ring going toe to toe, as opposed to like one-handed where Ali is just preaching to Rue. No, not at all. It's not that. At one point, even the waitress kind of. The waitress in that diner kind of even chimed in. So, and I gotta say that I'm glad that Sam and the crew managed to film this episode during pandemic and film it in a way that it makes it seem as if it's just another day, on this episode, you don't see Ali and Rue wearing masks. You know what I'm saying? In their world, it's just another day. It's not a day under pandemic. You see what I'm saying? Unlike shows like SWAT, if you see SWAT, it's so silly. They try too hard to make their timeline be, in the same alignment with our world today. They try too hard to be relevant. So now if you see SWAT episodes, the new episodes of SWAT, the cops are wearing masks and the bad guys are wearing masks. So every time there's chase sequences, either on foot or by car, everybody's wearing masks. It's just like, look, I am for wearing masks. Right? I'm not one of those guys that. I mean, I recommend you should totally wear masks out there. But for something like SWAT, seeing that, I could not take it seriously, man. Usually I could take them seriously. Usually I'm like, I get into the chase sequence, the badass of them. But I was like, oh, this is not cool. Maybe you should just take a hiatus during this pandemic. But that's just my opinion. Back to Euphoria. So I'm glad that when you see this episode, it's not that they're in the diner, wearing masks or whatever. It's just another day. It's just another day of two people talking. Omega A Curse is here. What movie are you watching, sir? No, it's a series. Euphoria. It's a show on HBO, and they have a special episode airing tonight on HBO Max. So it aired tonight before it came to HBO. It's a series, yes. So before I let you go, I just want to say, go check it out. If you are a fan like me, you'll love this. You love Zendaya coming back as Rue, like she never left it at all. And if you're like me who loves Jules, you get just a little bit of tease of Jules in the beginning. And she's gorgeous, man. She is so gorgeous. That's her pronoun, by the way. She and her, because Jules, or the actor who plays Jules, Hunter Schafer, is trans woman. So, but yeah, she's gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. My favorite character probably would have to be a tie between Kat and Jules. And then Rue, and then Cassie, and then Lexi, and then the rest. Nate, yeah, Nate's a bad boy. I like Nate too, but I like Nate on small dosage, not a whole lot. All right, before I let you go, I gotta show you something. Can you watch this for me? Okay, let me turn off the sound here. Oh, you're gonna love this. So you go to YouTube, right? You go to YouTube. Let's see here. What's the name of the... Yes, there you go. You go to YouTube. You type in Rama Screen, my outlet. And then you type in Sydney Sweeney. She's the girl who plays... Where are you here? There you go. Cassie, Sydney Sweeney. I got to interview her for a separate project this past few months ago. Or 1 month ago. For a movie called Nocturne.
Hey, here's one tip to check your cat's
freaking ad.
best. Always check your
Sorry
cat
about that.
consistently. This one always has a healthy appetite. You missed a bit.
Hey, don't push me.
Hey, don't push me.
Check your
Hey, don't
cats.
push me. Silly ad.
Music world.
Okay. Oh.
Sydney Sweeney.
Before I interviewed her, I told her, like, before the camera started rolling, I told her, like, oh my God, I'm geeking out. I loved you on Euphoria. And she's like, oh, thank you so much. And the thing is, I'm a fan first, right? Sometimes I know when you interview celebrities like this, you gotta remain professional. But sometimes, I can't help it. The fan in me just comes out and screams out. It's like, I'm fangirling you right now. So this is for the movie Nocturne. So go check out Rama Screen, Sydney Sweeney. We did not talk about Euphoria, obviously. And this is Madison Eisman from Jumanji movies, right? You recognize her. So just a snippet here. And Madison Eisenman. How are you? What up? This is Rama Screen, and I'm talking with the stars of Nocturne, Sydney Sweetney and Madison Eisenman. How are you both doing this morning?
Doing good. We woke up early and we are here.
Aww.
Thank you for taking the time and congratulations
She's
on
so
the film.
pretty.
Such an intense thriller. You two do look like you could be sisters. I mean, it was so believable and so convincing.
They play sisters in this movie.
Have you both have always been friends prior to filming, or did you spend time to get to know each other before the camera started rolling?
We went to high school together.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so we definitely had a lot of time to get to know each other.
That's hot. That's hot. Okay, one last one before I let you go. I know the Mandalorian is about to air in about less than 30 minutes from now. Oh, not yet. 45 minutes from now. So here's another one. I've interviewed a lot of people, folks. So I interviewed Ali, or actor Coleman Domingo, from Fear the Walking Dead and Euphoria. This is on the red carpet. Let's watch this one.
Congrats on your awesome career. Big fan of Fear the Walking Dead.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it so much.
We're here at an event celebrating actors. Can you share a moment in your career where you had to overcome adversity as an actor?
Oh, wow. I think every single day, to be honest. I think it's just a part of the nature of things. I think that we always are going into some sort of fearless battle in a way every day that you wake up and you're trying to create and have agency in this industry, and to also, when you know that there's a lot of no's, you know that you're trying to do something different, you're trying to tell stories, which is why I've always I'm one of those guys in this industry that goes in and out of genres pretty quickly.
Chicken asked, is he going to show up in the episode? Yes, he does show up on tonight's episode. Oh, where do we go here? There you go. Thank you, Chicken, for that question.
Because I think that I always knew that I had to have a plan A, B, C, D, and Z. So it's like when one thing isn't I don't know. I don't want to say working. When one thing isn't happening, I always have something else going on. Something else is giving me agency in my own career. So I'm never asking for something outside of it. I'm never asking the industry to do anything for me that I don't feel that I can do for myself.
Last question before I let you go. What's the secret to the success of Fear the Walking Dead? Because there's going to be Rick Grimes' trilogy movie.
All right, I'll let you watch the rest of that on your own. So go check out Rama Screen. His name is Coleman Domingo, and he plays Ali in Euphoria. And as you could see from my interview with him, that guy is one of those guys, and he's also fantastic in the movie Ma Rainey's Black Bottom on Netflix. Coleman Domingo is the kind of guy who, when he speaks, you just want to stand there or sit there and listen, There's a commanding presence to his voice. You know what I'm saying? So that's why he's the perfect fit for the role of Ali. This guy who's like a sobriety guy trying to guide Rue back on the right path. And because when Coleman Domingo utters those lines, it's like we listen. Not a lot of people have that persona, that ability, but Coleman does. So just the right amount of. Yes, Jasmine Hernandez says, guys, it's out on HBO Max. That is correct, Jasmine. That is correct. So if only Sydney Sweeney show up.
Check your cat's at its best.
Freaking ad. But if only Cassie showed up, if only Lexi showed up, if only Nate showed up. But again, it's just Rue and Ali, and it was shot during the pandemic, and that's the best that they could do during this COVID time. And you know what? For what it's worth, I think they pull it off. They at least give us a tease, because it's been more than a year of since season 1, and we haven't gotten season 2 yet. They haven't actually. I don't think they haven't even started rolling on that. So, and so this is just like them throwing a bone, throwing a red meat to us, and thank you for being a fan. I know this whole pandemic situation is crappy, and you gotta wait a little longer for season 2. But here's a couple of special episodes for you guys, since you guys have been such great fans, and it's a great 1 hour episode. Go check it out on HBO Max. It's just Ali and Rue duking it out verbally at the diner, and I love this show. I love this show, and I'm so happy that Zendaya is now an Emmy winner. She deserves it. She deserves it. I haven't interviewed Zendaya yet. I haven't met her at all, actually. So hopefully, when this pandemic blows over, I can interview her, probably on the red carpet. So keeping your fingers crossed. All right, that's it, you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you, Omega Chicken, Jasmine Hernandez, Tyler Hawkins, and Kai Baby, for chatting with me. What do you think about tonight's episode of the special episode of Euphoria? Do you agree or disagree with my assessment? What are your thoughts? What are your theories for the second episode, or the part 2, I should say? Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section below. And as always, subscribe. I'll be back actually pretty soon. Maybe an hour from now, or maybe an hour more from now, for the Mandalorian new episode tonight. So yes, be back again also for that. Okay, let's rock this.